Wojciechowski in for the Blue Devils. Picklebaum Boston over the line for Duke, 2 shots. Greg Newton returns to the lineup for the Blue Devils, replacing Taylor Domkowski. In for the Tar Heels, number 3, Shaman Williams, replacing number 24, Dante Calabria.
All right, we got 2 shots.
Foul is on Duke's number 31, Stan Brunson. This is team 7.
Jeff Capel returns to the lineup for the Blue Devils, replacing Ricky Price. Dante Calabria returns for the Tar Heels, replacing Jeff McGinnis.
Duke foul on number 12, Steve Wojciechowski. His first, team's 3rd. Returning for the Tar Heels, number 45, Serge Zwicker, replacing Okalaja.
Ricky Price and Taylor Domzowski return to the Blue Devils, replacing Bunchen and Collins.
He misfires. Rebound by Jeff Capel of the Blue Devils. 13-11. North Carolina up by 2. 10:43 left. First half.
Red, the Blue Devils have won 5 games in a row. One of the key reasons, the play of Chris Collins. He has been sensational in the last 5 games.
Pull-up jumper by Capel. Knocks it again. We're even at 13. That's the first field goal of the game for Jeff. 10:25 to go now. First half.
Duke has a strong perimeter game. North Carolina came out of the gate this year. They were 16-4, 7-1 in the league. But they've had a little slide lately.
McInnes with another fine pass, but this time Williams missing on the three-point shot. This is Wojciechowski off Krzyzewski's bench, bringing it up for the Devils.
Well, Dean told us before the game he needs a big game out of Williams and Zwicker to win here today.
All Tar Heel blue underneath for that rebound. Inside at 10 minutes now remaining in the first half. Rick Majerus, the outstanding Utah coach, is in the studio with John Saunders. You'll hear from them at halftime here on ABC. And a great steal by Rojo. He picked McInnes.
Solid defensive play by the tenacious Wojciechowski against a solid point guard in McInnes. McInnes, one of the premier point guards in the land, Brent.
Capel, Wojciechowski, Domzowski, Price, and Newton on the floor for Krzyzewski. Newton is bottled up. The baseline. Rebound, Zwicker into McInnes' hands for the Tar Heels.
Zwicker's had a real good start the first 10 minutes, both offensively on the interior. You ought to get the big guy the ball a little more. Get it to Zwicker.
They do right there. Turnaround left baseline, and he has scored 10 of Carolina's 15 points.
I tell you, he's looking like a Carolina Hall of Famer when you think of all those great players that have worn that Carolina uniform, the Jordans right down to the, well, you name them. They've had so many that have played there. Bill Ford and company, McAdoo.
Now Duke comes in here with a 5-game winning streak. The Blue Devils, one of the hottest teams in the land. It has been struggle city lately for Carolina. Rojo misses on the 3 into Calabria's hands. Carolina has lost 5 of its last 7, and they were blown out by Wake Forest in their last game, losing by 24. Jamison's offensive rebound, and he puts it back.
Jamison had a great game in the first matchup when Mike Krzyzewski went down by 1 point on a tip by Calabria. He had 23 points and 12 rebounds. One of the sensational diaper dandies in America.
So what a great rivalry. When you think back on the names that have met in the North Carolina-Duke rivalry, it is an honor roll of some of the greatest names in the history of college basketball. One star after another, all providing great memories in the Duke-North Carolina rivalry. And now Phil Ford is over on Dean Smith's bench as one of the Tar Heels' assistant coaches. There's the series record. And ladies and gentlemen, only once has Dean Smith ever been involved in a one-point game, and Phil Ford, and that came earlier this year. That's right, not since 1922 had North Carolina and Duke been decided by 1 point, but the Tar Heels won that one in Chapel Hill. They're up now by 4, whistle before the Price turnaround.
Ricky Price has really stepped it up for Duke, made a big three to beat Maryland at the buzzer in their last performance.
Timeout. We're in Cameron Indoor Stadium.
It's tough to get in a rhythm.
We're fine. We're fine.
Think we're fine?
Absolutely. Only suckers beat, my friend. On we go. So I need to do the Toyota starting lineup. So let's not have anybody highlighted, okay? Got it. You got it. Brewski, let me have a shot of Doug Collins at some time in this segment. You go, it doesn't make a difference. Wait. Has Chris just got that one? He's got 5, doesn't he? He had a deuce. Is that what it?
Basketball each Sunday night at 7:06 p.m. on Sportsnet. This weekend, the Collins show can be heard around the state each Sunday from 7:06 to 8 p.m. and locally on 6:20 a.m. WDMC and 6:80 a.m. WPTF.
Tar Heels bring it down the floor with a 17-13 lead.
Nice movement without the basketball. One of the trademarks of North Carolina. Get some motion away from the ball. Little dump down. Should have dumped it in. Should have dumped it in. Wide open in the post.
Couldn't get the ball into Alcalage's hands, but instead Carter, the talented freshman, hits the jumper. The starting lineups for Duke and Carolina. Both coaches have gone to the bench here in the first half. 7.5 minutes. Neither of these teams is especially deep. Certainly not as deep as we remember. Dick, one of the interesting statistics is the fact that Duke has hit only one of its first 6 3-point shots. That by Chris Collett. We'll be right back.
Official timeout. Hold it home in your car
Well, that took care of some bookwork, that segment. That one was a little short, but we had to get in the TV and the time, right? Now, what's your commercial situation now? Do you have another?
Hey, can you
So
show
you're going
me?
to take another timeout? Okay.
Hey, can you show me Dean and this coming out of this? So I want to make a comment.
Who hears you when you say that? Do you hear him? Do you hear what he said? My man up here doesn't hear you when you're saying promos and I don't get the cards. It doesn't do me any good, Kim, if I don't get the card handed to me. I got no idea what we're talking about unless he gives it to me. Got it. Now, when are you going to use this, Kim? Right out of the break. You got it.
Okay.
What is high incident about? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what the plot of high incident is? Not sure. Got it. What's tomorrow night on ABC? It is a night of drama. First, the high-quality family entertainment. Second, Noah. Then, high-impact excitement. A new cop show for you. High Incident, followed by Murder One. A night of high-impact drama all tomorrow here on the network ABC.
Well, you take a look at Michelangelo. 25 consecutive 20-win seasons. Amazing. Has 19. Trying to get his 26th in a row. That's an amazing accomplishment. But one even better, 32 consecutive years he's finished third or higher in the ACC, and that'll be the same this year because they can't finish lower than third, even if they lose this game.
You like that field goal by Carter? It put the Tar Heels up 21-13. We've got 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Penetration by Price off the dribble, short on the jump shot, and a foul is called against Carolina. Oh, Calabria was robbed. That should have been a jump ball, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he got robbed on that play, no doubt about it. I don't blame Dean being upset. Bill Guzman sitting there. As Dante Calabria's had a great 4 years, been a solid player. There comes the ball off the glass. Gonna watch that, a rebound. Jump ball, no foul, no foul.
Second one on Calabria, Dick. Cable tries to penetrate, lost the dribble, and had to go back, but it was touched by Calabria. And now it's Collins, and he is fouled.
I'll tell you what he's done to his game, Brant. He's become a much more complete player. He came back this year with a purpose in mind, not to just be a three-point shooter, Collins. He's penetrating more, and his dad is so proud. You and I talked to Doug before the game. Doug Collins sitting right there.
There is Doug coming off a 4-2 road trip on the West Coast with the Pistons. They beat the Clippers last night. Grant Hill, the former Duke star, 35. Put it on the scoreboard. You know what? He's starting to look like Jack Nicholson. I want to see another. Drew has a couple. I'm going to tell you something, folks. Doug Collins is starting to look like Jack Nicholson.
Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad?
That's bugs.
Is that good or bad?
That's very
wow. Look at him in
Look out. Look out there. Okay, don't hide.
He's hiding. Look at him hide. Come on, Doug.
Don't show us the bald spot.
Come on,
Look
Doug.
at it.
Oh, Doug. That's what coaching to do to you. He's doing a great job. He's brought about a lot of spirit back to Detroit. He's got some great young people that have great character in Houston, Grant Hill, Joe Dumars has great character. That's how you win.
6.5 minutes to go, and there's a final for the Duke women. So Clemson beat them in the tournament.
Clemson had a big win over the Virginia women's team also in the semis.
On an offensive foul.
Brent, you mentioned earlier rivalries. You know, there's some great rivalries in college basketball, but Mike Krzyzewski, Dean Smith, they bring so much stature to the sideline, and plus only 8 miles away in the same conference, there's none bigger than this. Certainly Purdue and Indiana is outstanding, and Kentucky and Louisville as well.
6-10, 21-14. Carolina with the lead on Duke. They were behind only once. Chris Collins' three-point shot at the 18-13 actually. And the foul is called as Calabria was trying to get room, and that is the 5-second violation, and that's the 8th turnover against Carolina. So it was a 5-second violation and not a personal as he was maneuvering there.
He gets a 20-second timeout to explain that and clarify it on a 5-second violation. If you don't pick up the ball and you don't pound the ball to the ground, the count is in effect.
Dick, you were over there.
Over in Chapel Hill. A little unusual for Dean Smith right now. He's got a +7. His club has been behind in a lot of games recently at halftime. They were blown out by Wake Forest. He told us before the game that Wake was absolutely sensational.
Inside of 6 minutes now. Blue Devils come down, trailing it by 7 points. Rice gets in on the inside and uses the glass.
Star ability. He has really stepped up, and Duke has stepped up. Dribble penetration. He has become a big-time player. Just ask Gary Williams when he knocked down the trifecta at the buzzer to beat Maryland.
Duke extends its defense. McGinnis is picked up by Wojo, and Wojo's starting to bother him a little bit.
McGinnis got great size.
And this keeps coming, though. Out into Wojo's hands. So the persistence of the little man. 21-16. They want Collins to go. It's Price. Off iron McGinnis. But Duke quickly back on defense. Does not give an advantage. Great hustle by Collins. And back now come the Blue Devils. Open. Capel high. Saves it, though.
What a great catch. He looked like a wide receiver. He looked like Jerry Rice. I mean, he looked like young Rice there. What hands?
Collins open. Dayline. Misses the deuce. Newton battles. Great hustle right now by the Blue Devils. Over the last minute, they've been getting to the loose balls.
How good has Collins been in the last 3 games? He has scored, you ready for this? 81 points, 27 a game.
Here comes Price back to Newton. Shifts Capel. And the Tar Heels are right there defensively.
Tar Heels doing a good job defensively, but excellent ball handling and patience by Duke.
They are really sticking to Collins. They do not give him more than an instant. So it is Price missing the 3. And the Tar Heels come back down, but the Blue Devils are back defensively. Here's Williams. He's hit 1-3 earlier. He had daylight underneath, and it's going against Jamison.
Foul is on Carolina's number 33.
There's rookie Price making a kick out. Now watch this catch. Flying in the air. Great hands. And look at the balance. Look at the balance. His dad doing a solid job as a coach over at Old Dominion. You know, I think it's something special when you got guys that play for you like Mike does, whose dads are coaching. You got Collins. You got Capel. They come from a basketball family.
4 minutes now in the first half. Tar Heels over the limit, 18 fouls, 6 on Duke. At the 4-minute mark, Newton will bring it up now to the free throw line. Frank Stagliata is the referee here today. Rick Hartzell and Steve Gordon with him. Outstanding crew. Knocked back, so it's Duke's ball.
The winning spirit is back at Duke. You could feel the electricity now as opposed to earlier in the year. There's that feeling that we're getting back on pride again.
Price over the top, missing, yanked away by Williams into McInnes's hands.
Good role player, Shawn Williams, a kid that wasn't heavily recruited.
McInnes on the penetration into Newton's hands. Defense is dominating this game at both ends. It's 21-16 with 3.5 minutes to go.
North Carolina has really come out strong on the perimeter defensively. That's been one of the real problems.
Collins and put him on the free throw line.
That's why he's become a special player. Very emotional. And there's his dad. Look at Doug. Look at Doug. He's smiling. He said, that's my boy. That's my boy. He's become a better player because he's added another dimension to his game. Like his dad, who was an All-American at Illinois State. He's put the ball to the deck. Watch him. He can drive now. He's not just a spot-up jump shooter. Lashing, splitting the defense. Tough year last year.
Oh, more than tough, Dick. I want to tell you, he hit 29% from the field last year. He only had 23% of his threes also, 17 of 73. And then he turned it completely around. The coaches were very impressed when he came back to school with how hard he had worked during the offseason. He is an entirely different player, and he will get a look in the NBA. He shoots the threes too well. You Chicago Bull fans, Steve Kerr, all right. Chris Collins is going to get a look.
Oh, there's no doubt he's going to get a look, and he's the kind of kid you don't mind having in your roster. He's so emotional. He gets everybody involved.
Inside, and Williams has got it.
Nice club by Williams, the backdoor cut. Good look. North Carolina with good execution, and that's always been a trademark of the Dean Smith team. Move without the basketball.
23-18 at the 250 mark. Collins with that look. Got it. Bingo.
I'll tell you, talk about confidence. I mean, he's letting it fly. NBA, nothing but nylon. The Cameron crazies get excited. They jump with jubilation. He's a different player. You're exactly right. He's one of the most improved players in America, Chris Collins, along with Roy Rogers of Alabama.
Jamison almost lost the handle.
Jamison, what a tremendous year. Diaper dandies can probably average double-double. Have a double-double for the season in scoring and rebounding.
4-point Carolina lead at the 2-minute mark. Collins lost it. With the loud shot. Hands off now to Williams.
Williams almost went to Kentucky. That was the only other school really recruiting him big time. Calabria's got to get some shots. They got to get some shots for Calabria.
Williams getting to the glass.
I tell you, Shaman really stepping it up. Two guys that Dean Smith told us before the game when he was doing his show with Woody Durham, the fine guy that covers basketball for Carolina. He said we need a great performance out of Swicker and Shaman Williams. He's getting both today.
Yeah, two outstanding radio broadcasters here. Woody Durham, the longtime voice of the Tar Heels. Bob Harris celebrating his 20th year at the mic for the Blue Devils. The three is short from Capel. Yanked back. Collins with the look. Misses this time. And contact underneath. Goes against the Blue Devils.
Collins, second all-time three-point shooter here in terms of three-point shots made. Number one is Bob Hurley.
Let's check in with John Saunders and Coach Rick Majerus. John?
7 on the team. Newton back in for the Devils. Carter back in for the Tar Heels. Serge Swicker in the line for the Tar Heels. 1-1.
Boston Buckeyes should be here.
John, we've got bad news for Coach Majerus. We got bad news. Dick, tell him.
Well, there's a big star recruit here from California who last night was at the BYU-Utah game. Chris Burgess, one of the great juniors in America, 6'10". He's here at Duke.
We'll be right back.
Starting to get in. Got to feel it. Feel it early. Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's Duke shooting? They could not have a very good percentage here in this half. This is great Carolina defense. 27%.
Yeah, that defense is playing tough on them. I think that's a good sign, though, because there's going to be 8 down. Did Georgia Tech win today to clinch?
Did Georgia Tech win? Georgia Tech won.
They clinched the championship.
Inside of a minute to go, 29-21. Carolina with the lead on a very cold shooting Duke team. They are now 7 for 27. They've shot less than 27%.
And that's a credit to the defense by North Carolina. They came out here with a purpose, a game plan to attack the perimeter shooters, and have done a solid job here.
They've done an especially good job, Dick, down on the low blocks. Newton is scoreless today. He's averaged better than 12 points this year, and he has been unable to score against this tough Tar Heel defense. Zwicker missing, great rebound. Okalaja loses the handle, hit by Duke. Tar Heels ball, great hustle.
Okalaja really getting on the glass. Solid offensive rebounder along with Antoine Jameson. As I look at Dante Calabria, the senior, I always look at that hair and I get so envious. Rick Majerus, I wish I had his hair. But I know a lot of coaches wish they had Mr. Van Horn. He's the best player in America that doesn't have a great reputation. Keith Van Horn.
We will see Majerus on the Network NCAA halftime report with John Saunders back in New York. We come down to the last 10 seconds now, actually closer to 5. Tar Heels are up by make it 11 as McInnes nails a trifecta at the buzzer. 32-21. So Dean Smith and the Tar Heels coming off that 24-point blowout at the hands of Wake Forest are looking for their 7th straight win over Krzyzewski and the Duke Blue Devils. We will come back with halftime. John Saunders after this message and a word from our ABC station. You got it, babe. You got it. North Carolina's defense limits Duke to 25% from the field in the first half, builds an 11-point lead. The lone bright spot for the Blue Devils, senior Chris Collins. He was 3 of 6 with 11 points.
It's rock and roll time at Cameron, baby. They're bouncing. It's absolutely wild. Wow, there's more bounce to the outs of that guy, baby. That tastes like a Spalding ball.
So at halftime, it is 32-21. North Carolina shooting 48% from the field. Serge Zwicker with 12 points.
Hey, Brant, Payne Weber has recognized one Scholar Athlete each game this season. Here is the presentation for the Payne Weber Scholar Athlete of the Year.
Payne Weber would like to congratulate Todd Fuller, our Scholar Athlete of the Year. Todd, in his major of Applied Mathematics, maintained a 3.97 GPA this year. At the same time, averaged over 20 points a game and 10 rebounds a game. And in recognition of that outstanding achievement, we'd like to donate $10,000 to North Carolina State in the name of research, because we believe that the best investment is an investment in intelligence.
Thank you. I would like to thank Payne Weber for this generous award and acknowledging achievement.
Second half ready to start, and in that first half, Carolina out rebounding Duke 22-13 for Carolina fans. They are 14-0 when leading at halftime. Dick Vitale, you said this one's not over. Beware, the Blue Devils will be back.
Well, they shot so poorly in the first half. Great defensive effort. I don't think this crowd will let this game get away without it really being a competitive down to the last 4 minutes.
Inside foul to start the second half.
Foul is on North Carolina's number 20.
Take a look at the numbers right here. You take a look at three-point shooting, 2 for 12 for Duke, and that was the game plan of Dean Smith. Shut down their perimeter game. Duke has done so well from three-point range, and in the last 9 games, North Carolina, the opponents are shooting about 40% against them from three-point land.
So Dom Zalski, we told you that Collins was the leading scorer for Duke. But Zwicker with the 12 points, Dick, in comparison with Newton's goose egg for the first half, was really the scoring difference of the game. Domzalski, with 2 personals, sat out several minutes of the first half. Duke obviously needs his muscle underneath the glass. 32-23. Cameron Crazies trying to urge their beloved Blue Devils back into the thick of this. They've lost 6 in a row, and Capel coming out against the Tar Heels. The Tar Heels with that big winning streak against Duke, and Calabria upset about the non-call at this end.
Capel with that good defensive play. He was shut down in the first half. He was 1 for 9. You know this place is electrical right now. Oh, nice backdoor cut.
Has got McInnes on a backdoor cut, and McInnes gets free from Collins, and there was no weak side help. Collins was looking for Newton to come over and didn't get it.
Great move goal by McInnes without the basketball.
But now Newton with his first field goal of the game at the 18:49 mark. So immediately the Blue Devils pounded in low. As a result, they get free throws and then a field goal.
Nice pass by Capel. Good catch by Newton on the interior.
Calabria is hit working the baseline. No foul is called. He was looking for one. Jamison comes up over the top. That's why he leads the ACC with that field goal percentage.
I tell you one thing. I said I give him a double-double. He's averaging 9.8 rebounds. In my mathematics, that's 10-0, baby. Over 9-5, we give him the edge.
Capel steps inside, misses. Domzalski has it yanked away, and the Heels come back down. Leading at 36-27, 18-11, and here's McInnes working baseline. You come up with the tray. Short. Into Collins' hands.
I got to get the ball to Price. Got to get the ball to Price, Chris.
Chris is open. Had the look. Buries the trifecta. 14 for Chris.
Right in front of his dad. Look at him jumping. Look at the emotion. There's his dad. He flew the red eye. Look, he looks tired. He took the red eye from L.A. last night after beating the Clippers.
4-2 on the road. Detroit was under Doug Collins. 35 last night for Grant Hill. Here it's 17-35. Carolina up by 6. McInnes in low.
I'll tell you what's impressing me with McInnes. His movement without the basketball.
Hold on, they may have called a T. They hit him with a T underneath. He wanted the foul on the field goal, and he has picked up a T.
He's had that happen previously this year, and Dean Smith, his rule usually you get a T, you're coming out of the game. Dean took him out last time. I bet Dean goes to the bench.
Dean is bringing somebody in right now.
There's that little.
He's going to make the move on the Carolina bench. McInnes is out.
Oh, you can't run his mouth right there. Can't run his mouth. Just play, Jeff. Just play, Jeff.
Williams is going to replace him. Shamon Williams checking in right now as Chris Collins comes up at the other end. And this could be, well, when you consider, Dick, what a turnaround this is, because McInnes nailed a field goal. He had a positive moment working, and he wrecked it.
Well, he's had 2 technicals in a week. He had one against Wake Forest as well and went to the sideline. It didn't play a difference in that game because obviously Wake was really on fire. But in this game, they're up 7. Write the score down, Brent. 17-29, 38-31. We write that score down when he got to 2.
Well, Collins hit that free throw to make it 38-31. And now they get the ball back out of bounds. The field goal had put him up by 8. It's now 38-31, and the Blue Devils ball.
Dean has that rule. You get a technical, you're coming out. He sat on the bench for a long period of time. Pine City against Wake Forest.
That was a ridiculous time to get a technical, and Tar Heel fans are aware of it. Now Jamison picking up his third personal foul.
Carolina foul on number 33.
Just knows it.
Especially when you're a key guy. You're an experienced player. You're a guy they're counting on. They got 3 young players with Carter, Okolajwa, and Jamison. They need his leadership. I don't think he'll stay on the bench long, though. I think you'll see him back in this game within the next 2-3 minutes.
Rice, cold, first half, misses the driving field goal attempt. Jamison dribbles it out, gets it to Calabria, then he runs over Wojo. Williams trying to finish, no basket.
He won't little travel, no doubt about it. Doug Collins is saying, hey, in our league, they wouldn't call that. They wouldn't call that. He's taking the A train right there. I mean, he wants to get to the, look at Calabria, he wants the A train. 1, 2, 3. That's like Rick Majerus going to the hole. That's like the big wide body taking it up strong out of Utah. I love Rick. I love his personality. He knows the game of basketball. I saw you.
Wojo loses it and regains it.
2-3 zone right now.
Chris missing on the 3, knocked away from Zwicker and hit by Zwicker out of bounds. Blue Devils ball under their own goal.
The one thing you got to do against the zone, you got to attack it and make it back up. You got to get into the gaps of that zone. You got to push it back. The zone shifts with the movement of the basketball, and if we just play stationary, they can match up.
7-point Tar Heel lead, 16-40. Tar Heels defeated Duke earlier this year in a dandy over in Chapel Hill.
They have won the last 6, as you said earlier. 6 and zip North Carolina in the last 6 shots against Duke.
Cable into Newton. Newton bounces off Zwicker and he hits the turnaround. So Newton comes alive here in the second half for the Blue Devils, and it's suddenly back to 5.
Nice catch right there by Newton. Carolina cannot win this game without Jeff McGinnis. They're going to need
first field
McGinnis.
goal since he went out. Jamison did not give it to him, but he'll step to the free throw line as he smashed into Newton. That's Newton's second personal foul.
Jamison's so quick. He has that quick release. Look at Wojciechowski. He's wide open. The reverse angle shot. Look at him. He said, give me the rock. I'm wide open. Give me it. I can spot it up. The out of bounds line. Jamison really having a great year as a freshman, but I have to admit this, 2 weeks ago I would have given the award to Antoine Jamison, but to follow his mentor, Dean Smith's philosophy, to the victor goes the spoils. You got to give the rookie of the year, the diaper daddy of Marbury.
Most entertaining team in the ACC right now. Georgia Tech, without a question. If you get a chance, folks, check them out. They are really fun to watch. Stephon, Barry, real good basketball team. Policeman has improved. They will be effective.
And Harpering's probably one of the
solid. Cape ball on the inside. Hits it now for the Blue Devils.
Was Capel with the big deuce. Was 1 for 9 in the first half. Harpering, without a doubt, is all ACC. Congratulations to Bobby Cremant.
39-35. Carolina, 15-50. And McGinnis is coming back into the game. He's up, and he will re-enter. We're going to take a timeout. And when we come back, McGinnis will be operating the heels again.
Would like to thank all of those students, fans, alumni, Iron Dukes, and sponsors for their support.
All over that, man. I tell you, he'll take him right out. That's a rule they have. He comes out of the game every time. Also told my man here they will be back. They are back.
I gave you full credit, Kate.
I know you did, but you gave me too much credit. Give me too much credit. I tell you, within 2 minutes, he'll be back on the floor. Wake Forest, they were down 20.
That was ludicrous.
Oh, stupid foul. Stupid. Plus, that counts as a personal, doesn't it, John? Yeah. How many? Yeah, how does he got now? Oh, it's on 2.
Yes, sir. You have not got time. You have not got time for billboards and a promo the way they're playing. There's just no chance. Go ahead. You got it. 15:50 remaining here in the second half. 39-35. Carolina with a lead on the Blue Devils. And Carolina with McInnes back on the floor after picking up that technical foul a short time ago. And Dick, as you said, he would return.
Well, McInnes has that great size as well. They need him on the floor with his experience and his talent. Just an absolutely silly technical to get a technical call.
Collins knocks it away, forces the turnover. Blue Devils come back. Down by 4 now at 15:25. Collins, 3. Misses the shot at the other end, but Newton hustles for the rebound. Back to Collins. He'll go again with the look. This one he's got.
I'll tell you, he's on fire. You can't give him 2 good looks, baby. If he can square his body, you can count it. His dad says again, that's my guy, Mr. Illinois in high school basketball.
Remember, he hit 7 trifectas against Florida State. McInnes jumps it over to Williams, who will try to respond, and he's hit the tray.
Shaman really has been solid here. He's moved well without the ball. He's made open shots.
42-38. It's a 4-point game now. 14:45. Settling down into the kind of game we expected. There's a collision, and is it Collins who may be hurt? Williams being assessed a personal foul, and McInnes wraps him up as Collins goes down. And a reminder that Saturday, the season premiere of ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour. Player of the Year Mike Albee and the tour's High Rollers will be on hand for the AC Delco Classic. And on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the men's competition with the NutraSweet World Challenger champions, plus short track speed skating from Holland, all Saturday here on ABC. 14:40 to go. Duke with the ball and trailing 42-38.
Nice skip pass over the top of the zone. There's another skip pass.
Collins again, and this one rattles out.
Well, Carolina's got to
They save it into McInnes' hands.
They're going to do a better job matching up on a perimeter like they did in the first half. Great play by
Field goal by Jeff, who took it down.
Dean Smith signaling what he wants defensively. Good play by McInnes. Both clubs so well drilled. Utilize the skip pass well against the zone. Man-to-man now.
Feeling it, and a great defensive play by Jamison. Jumped around. Calabria is open for the easy deuce.
Easy jam by Calabria. He said, hey, to the fans, everybody's been getting on his case. He was quoted
His first field goal of the day.
Unbelievable. He was quoted today saying the fans got to chill out. There's a nice ball fake. Look at the kick out. He fakes, he's going to kick it out. There's the score in the lane. In fact, Dean, we were talking to him before the game. Jeff McInnes said the fans have been dogging us. Calabria was quoted as saying the fans got to chill out. And Dean was quoted as saying we've spoiled them. And they did. They jumped out 16-4, 7-1 in the league.
Let's go to New York and John Saunders. John.
At home next weekend. And Wake Forest comes to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Please be there for good baseball. Just keep the field this spring. And
John, shades of Hersey Hawkins, big fellow, with a shot like that for Bradley.
Jim Molinari, one of the hot names in coaching. Don't be surprised his name doesn't pop up down there in Illinois. Former assistant at the ball. There's a look at Collins working on his foot. They better get this rifle on the floor.
Remember, this helped ruin his season a year ago when he fractured a bone in a foot prior to the start of the year. Now they get it to Price's hands, and here goes the easy deuce. Great play after the timeout. It's back to 6.
Silky smooth Ricky Price flying through the lane. They got some California recruits here today. Chris Burgess, Eric Chenoweth, too big.
Domzalski doing an outstanding job right now on Jamison down in the low blocks, denying him the basketball. They can't get it on the inside. Calabria with a dribble penetration. Misfiring Price. And it's a team named Desire right now. Down 6. The Tar Heels have led much of the way. Newton on another turnaround, missing this time, and the Tar Heels are there. That time it was Okalaja, and he was denied Domzalski rebounding move. Two teams that are outstandingly coached on defense. And when you watch them block out for rebounds, you're seeing two of the best coaches at work. Williams off the fake. Missing, and it's the Blue Devils come down again. Down 6, 12:56 to go here at Cameron.
And now going without their hot gun. Collins averaging 27 a game the last
Hit roll over Williams, and it's in to Shaman's hands.
Look at our patience right now in offense. 5% percentage shots, shot selection, so important. Know your strengths. They got to go to Jamison right now. A little two-man game.
Domzalski fronting Jamison.
Switch.
Now Domzalski's got Okalaja, who's trying to screen for Calabria. Rolls into the paint area. Jamison on the other side has got the field goal.
They go to my guy, Jamison. A.J. on the inside.
And the Tar Heels build a 10 as the result of that play. Good offensive play that time for the Heels, and now it's Price. Picked up his dribble, and Calabria attacked him.
Man-to-man defense by North Carolina, multiple defenses. Great rivalry. This is one of the great rivalries.
Domzalski an offensive rebound, and Wojo comes again. The Blue Devils need Collins healthy and back on the floor. Capel on the penetration has got the deuce.
I'll tell you, took the CNC gang. Capel and Collins are both over 1,000 points in scoring. Capel has picked it up here in the second half.
He has to carry the load now. It's a 6, 48-42, 11 and a half minutes left in regulation.
The zoning right now, when you look at Duke is rotated to the zone. North Carolina, good perimeter shooting team, shooting about 40% from three-point range.
Elijah back to Williams, who will come for the trifecta. And the Blue Devils sealing up. Domzalski into Newton's hands, and now it's Price breaking free in. Speed got around Jamison and came the baseline.
Oh, he is so quick, and I love him. The Cameron Price's love, Ricky Price. He's a high-flying one, Mr. Musburger.
And it is 48-44 at 10:54 to go now.
This is what we expected. It was a little slow out of the gate, but it has picked up. Typical North Carolina and Dukes.
McGinnis, and he hits the trifecta.
Oh, this is a great one. Big basket by McGinnis.
51-44. Timeout is called. 10:38 to go.
Be sure to take home a souvenir from your trip to Cameron.
And here comes one of the thoroughbreds.
He went to church. He went to church. McGinnis made up big when they win it without McGinnis. You heard me say that one, man. Win it without McGinnis here today. Keep him on the bench. Going home.
7. 7.5.
Big three, man. Big three. That's a good job back. Hey, Kim. I want to just, how Duke's season turned around. Show me Collins. They were 0-4 in a conference. The difference in these clubs, one was 7-1, the other one was 3-5 at the first half, and they were 0-4, and he made a big three to beat NC State.
I want to know, does Lewis have a report on Collins? Have we got him back in here yet?
Oh, yeah, where's Lewis?
He's getting ready to go.
Oh, he's got him right now?
They retaped it. It was no injury. Why don't we go to Lewis for an update on that? I haven't heard from Lewis, man. He's been busy giving tickets out. Lewis, you ready, man? He's back in the game, Lewis. When I come to you, he's back on the floor. You know, he's been there. He's limping not badly.
Get Doug? Why not get Doug?
Forget it? Or what? Oh, okay. Okay.
Report on. I'm coming to you for a report on Chris, Lewis.
Okay, where is he? Let me see.
He's back. He's on the floor, man.
Is he? Okay.
He's got the ball out of bounds at the far end from you, okay? You'll be able to stop him when he works the length of the floor. Lewis Johnson, what's the status of Chris Collins there for Duke in that injured ankle?
Well, Brett, just a few moments ago, he checked out of the game. He rolled his right ankle. The trainers brought him back here to the bench, looked at it, decided to retape the ankle, and now he has checked back in the game. Back to you.
18 points, Lewis. Thank you very much. He's the high man. Price off the penetration has come alive.
He has really stepped up. Ricky Price, the Super South, was highly acclaimed out of high school, had a big-time reputation.
Now McInnes, he has been the ringleader. He hit a very big tray for the Tar Heels. He has the ball looking in on Collins now, and he hits Carter.
Run that passing game. Carter made 2 big baskets in the first half. Last year, he was here as a high school player, recruited by both these clubs.
Williams is cut off. Now he comes to baseline, double up, picked up his dribble into Zwicker's hands. Late whistle, and the foul is called.
Carolina foul on number 13. Okalaja, his first, 5th on the team.
Okalaja's first personal of the game, 51-46. And you can see what they've done today as Carolina extending its defense, coming hard after the three-point shooter.
That's been big today, their defense on the perimeter. That should free up Doug Newton on the inside.
Capel just stepped it out and went up over the top that time. No preventing that. And folks, it's suddenly a 2-point game at Cameron. 9.5, 51-49. Tar Heels are up.
They didn't extend right there. They gave him that good look. They got to really come out and challenge Capel and Collins.
Zwicker's been a little bit quieter this half. A little more intensity down on the inside for the Blue Devils here in the second half. Zwicker's got to demand the ball some down in that low block. Domzalski keeping him pushed out. McInnes rattles it in. A huge hoop for the Tar Heels.
I'll tell you one thing about Jeff McInnes. He's not afraid to take the big shot. He's not afraid to want the basketball and make the big play.
Now Collins off the dribble penetration. Throws one up that won't stay in. Brunson couldn't tap it in. And the Heels come down 53-49 up.
Booker looks really tired right now, man. He looks like he's really struggling getting up and down the floor after a strong first half.
Domzalski's had the saddle on him much of this half.
Oh, you like those Cowboys. You talk about saddles. Yeah, you got that ranch in Montana.
Brunson now working the other side. Dick, Okalaja's on the right. McInnes penetrates, gets Okalaja. Baseline move. And there was Domzalski wrapping it up.
There she go to Price. Go to Price. He's in the
Cape ball. Rattles into McInnes' hands.
Shot the ball quickly, but he's got that long range. Mr. Capel's got the license to shoot it. A lot of intensity right here out of McInnes.
8 minutes to go in regulation. 53-49, North Carolina.
Logically, this is a big one for North Carolina. These 3 in a row going into the tournament. It really hurt.
Almost like a clear out from McInnes. Nobody came over to him, and that time McInnes was able to get the foul from Collins. That is Chris's first personal foul.
Chris Collins, his first, 3rd on the team. Official timeout.
7:47 to go. The Tar Heels lead. We'll have more after this message and word from our ABC stations.
This one.
It's gonna be a hell of an ending, boys.
Yeah, I want to look at that, yeah. NC State, that's the best 3-13 team you'll ever lay eyes on.
But it's still 3-13.
They lost that game by 30 points. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that right. Let me do that right now. I'm also going to say here, I ain't going to lie, I'm going to say the coach is there. Because he is. He is, right?
Okay.
But in a nice way. In a nice way. He's a great guy. But
He is a hell of a guy.
I'm going to say he's gracefully going to step in. That's what I'm saying. He's going to gracefully accept the position in the outfit. That's what I heard. I heard today.
Virginia winning the conference?
No, never.
That was his magazine.
Right here. My prediction.
It did go into the Hall of Fame.
Harold Dean has. About Howard. Maryland has to win to get in the tournament. If Maryland wins tomorrow, they'll win.
Georgia Tech at 13-3 wins the ACC regular season title.
Hey, Maryland's got a game with Florida State tomorrow. They win that game, Gary Williams, you're going to get in the tournament. They have to beat Florida State. You saw NC State on the bottom, 3-13. That's the best 3-13 team you'll look at. It's been a heartbreak hotel for Les Robinson. They've lost 10 games by 30 points. And I believe he will gracefully step down and accept the position in the athletic department. Look at McGinnis.
And foul. Carolina shooting 64% here in the second half to Duke's 52%. 55-49, 7:26 to go.
See Wojciechowski trying to check McGinnis, gives away a lot of size. He's a tough competitor, but McGinnis could shoot it right over the top of him. To get back to that point, I really believe that Mr. Robinson will step down and gracefully accept an administration position, as will Brian Mahoney at St. John's when the season's completed. They will resign, and they really can be great assets to their universities. They're two great guys who can be such pluses, because it's tough to survive when the Wolves are after you, Brent. It's tough to make it.
Complete the three-point play. Touching the ball out of bounds. Blue Devils ball. We have 7:24 to go at Cameron in regulation. North Carolina leading most of the game is up on Duke 55-49 is the score right now.
Look at the big guys battling inside, trying to block out. Look at Newton working hard. He drew some praise today from Dean Smith.
Cable comes free off the screen on the inside. Swicker switches and covers him up. They'll get it back to Cable. He's got the big man outside. He takes him for the three, and he's short.
He thought somebody was going to step at him. They tried to run that curl move, and North Carolina did a great job stepping out. See, now they go to Sox. They put a bigger guy on McGinnis. Great coaching move by Krzyzewski. He goes to Price now on McGinnis.
Out on Williams, and Williams comes around him with the speed and uses the glass.
He's been a star here today. He has really played well off the bench. Siobhan Williams.
57-49. Tar Heels with the lead and timeout, and Collins unhappy with his defense. He may be a little gimpy. He's coming over to the Blue Devil bench, and this ankle may have forced Collins out of the game. At the 6:40 mark, Collins forced out because of the ankle. Wojo comes onto the floor to run the Blue Devils here over the last 6:40. Now remember, this Duke team has won 5 in a row. That's the best finish, or it would have been if they could have won here today. The best finish since 85-86. That great team closed out with 13 in a row. Prize, the trifecta. They now know they've got to pick it up. Their scoring leader is gone. It's 57-52, 6:22, and McGinnis, who has been masterful except for that technical, brings it down on Wojo.
I'll tell you one thing, Price has made some big shots. I was reminiscent of a shot against Maryland. Very active. The guy sitting on that pine is averaging fast.
Wojo got inside, missed the shot, into Capel's hands. Price is open again. Calabria now will take him, and Price looks for daylight. They'll pound it on the inside to Newton on Swicker. Newton's going to go. Fadeaway jump shot. He's got it.
That was a great play right there by Newton. Good catch. The fadeaway jump shot.
It's a three-point game. Collins out with that tender ankle. Wojo trying to get the crowd here at Cameron back into it, and they are now in force. The sixth man is alive.
Wojciechowski back on McGinnis. Remember, it was a mismatch earlier. He had that size, likes to spin into the lane, likes to get into that 3-second area.
Wojo hounded him, sticks with him. He picked the dribble up, and he went to him, and now it's Williams, who's had a huge game here today. Williams got it for the Tar Heels.
I'll tell you, what a big play right there by Williams. They're doing a great job keeping the ball away from Calabria. Ricky Price defensively.
59-54, and inside of 5 minutes here at Cameron. bases doubled. Wojo sets a screen on the far side. Inside, Newton with an elbow, his third.
Previous play, look at him working down inside against Swicker. Now he's going to turn and shoot that fadeaway jump shot. Now take a look at Shammond Williams. Little shake and bake. He's saying, why did you recruit me, everybody? I can play. Only Dean Smith had the vision to say, yes, he could be a big-time player.
Okalaja, Calabria, Jameson, McGinnis, and the unsung hero, Shammond Williams, on the floor for Dean Smith and the Tar Heels, looking for their 20th win again here this afternoon. They lead at 59-54. They're inside of 4.5.
If he gets 20, that'll be 26 consecutive years. That's incredible when you think about it. 32 years in a row.
Williams is trifecta.
Oh, he's on fire. He is playing brilliantly. Shammond Williams, the maestro, told us before the game, I need a great performance out of Williams, and he has responded.
62-54 is the result of that. Now it's Price at the other end, short, and into Okalaja's hands he traveled. He could not help himself as he was falling backwards, receiving the rebound, and it'll go back to Duke. 4 minutes remain when we come back. It's 62-54, Tar Heels.
Be there this spring for all of the exciting action of Duke lacrosse. Admission is free. Thank you.
How many does Williams have? Give me a rundown on it. Break his game down for me. What's his high for the season? Yes.
You got it. Am I taking a toss for Brent? Okay. You got it. You got it.
Is Fuller's first name Todd?
Todd, yeah. Yeah, we got to get him a shot. Oh, did he? Led the conference in scoring. Fuller led the conference in scoring.
How much time, Kim? Chris Collins back on the sideline after being back here a few moments ago. The doctor's rechecking the right foot. Now he has an ice bag on it, and I can see on his face the sign of pain. Brent, it doesn't look good.
No, Lewis, thank you very much. He probably will not be back in for the remainder of this game. Duke with the ball. This is Price, and he was hounded, and Shammond Williams fouled him. Now, let's get you up to date on the Shammond Williams situation right now, because this is a career game for him. He has tied his career high here today with 17 points. Did it earlier against Maryland. He's hit 3 of 7 three-pointers inside of 4 minutes, 62-54. And Duke with Capel penetrating. Won't stay down. Big rebound winds up in McGinnis's hands. And now the point guard will start to orchestrate the time clock here for Carolina. They have won 6 in a row over the Blue Devils. Dean Smith has been very effective against Mike Krzyzewski. They spread the floor. They bring time off the shot clock down toward 10. McGinnis spins on the inside. Hits Williams, who's coming again. And Shammond Williams with his career high now. That is 20 points leading the way, 65-54.
The big three by Mr. Williams, but the penetration by McGinnis. He was the 3D man. He drove, he delivered, and he got the rock right to Mr. Williams.
Price, and he is fouled, and that is Shaman who is on him. Shaman is out of Greenville, South Carolina, and now with 4 personal fouls on the sophomore. 2 minutes and 59 seconds left as we check in on the network in the CI game summary. Collins forced out with the injured ankle, the leading scorer for the Blue Devils with 18 points, and they have simply not been able to overcome the loss of their scoring leader. Bench scoring, check it out. Duke with 0 off their bench right now. And that has been enormous, Dick.
The real difference has been a great defensive effort of North Carolina on the perimeter. They haven't allowed them to have a big day shooting the 3, as has happened in the last 9 games. Duke's going to have to find a way to make something happen defensively.
Price fouling McGinnis. And Dean Smith calming his leader down right now at 2:47. Calabria will take it out of bounds. 35 seconds on that shot clock.
Price right now, and also Cape will have to step up big offensively. Going to put him on that line.
At 2:43, the Tar Heels will begin the march to the free throw line at 1-1 now. You can see there Price and McGinnis going at it, and that was Dean Smith who quickly got off the bench and quieted things down. He does not want it to get out of hand, especially for McGinnis with 1 technical already on his point guard. 65-54.
That one thing, he settled down though when he came back on the floor after the technical and took command and took control. You talk about the great point guards in America, you certainly think of Iverson and Jock Vaughn, who's like the Tommy Frazier, who's a winner on that floor for Kansas, but this kid's one of the 5 best.
68-54, Carolina in command. Capel and Zwicker picks up the personal foul, and Surge.
Hey, look at Phil Ford. You talk about a guy that was a point guard. Look at this guy. I'll tell you, with all the jobs opening up now, a guy like Phil Ford, Tommy Amica, they would be guys you'd want to call. Both were brilliant leaders as point guards. As a look at Tom Amica, a lot of jobs opening up. Maybe you want to apply. Toledo's open. South Florida's open. I mean, Drake is open.
No thanks.
Put you on a coaching sideline.
Capel is at the free throw line. Dick, let me correct that. I said it was Zwicker. It's Jamison. And that is the 4th personal. And there's a young man, by the way, we had a shot of Amica, and you mentioned him. And certainly, Tommy Amica deserves to be a head coach somewhere. He has learned very well, first as a player and then as an assistant coach under Mike Krzyzewski. An outstanding recruiter for Krzyzewski, just a high-class young man. And I would give him very high marks. Quinn Snyder, and he'll be coming out too someday. He'll be ready to become a head coach also.
You know who his father-in-law is? Quinn Snyder? A fair point guard, played for North Carolina by the name of Larry Brown, one of the great coaches in the NBA.
Wojo in the backcourt.
Duke foul number 12.
2:34 to go. It is 68-56, and Carolina, which had been struggling, certainly Tar Heel fans don't need to be reminded of that painful blowout by Wake Forest. It was 24 points. They've lost 5 of their last 7 coming in here today, but they're going to close it out on a high note, apparently. This one's far from over at the 2:34 mark, but Mike Krzyzewski needs someone to pick up the slack for Chris Collins, who has been forced out with that injured ankle. And, you know, I was thinking of players in the ACC who had disappointing conclusions to great careers. Todd Fuller, with the flu yesterday, had to sit out the second half for North Carolina State. I know that was very disappointing for Todd, who's had a wonderful year down here in the midst of a losing season. Just as disappointing as it is right now for Chris Collins on that Duke bench.
Academically had a great year as well. Only had 1 B. As a look at Doug Collins, one of his sons on that sideline. Fuller, brilliant student in that.
So the Tar Heels are wrapping this one up. It's 70-56, and Collins is out, and McGinnis will bring seconds off the clock, and they'll put Shaman Williams with a career day on the free throw line. North Carolina led the entire second half. Duke was able to cut it to 1 twice. And a reminder, the next Sunday at 1 Eastern, 12 Central Pacific here on ABC. Daytona 500 winner Dale Jarrett and Rockingham winner Dale Earnhardt. All the boys, the good old boys from NASCAR meet in Atlanta. It's the Perolator 500. Then 12 of the world's finest drivers race identical cars in the first test of the International Race of Champions from Daytona. That's all next Sunday here on ABC Sports.
Williams going to the line, making a count. Tells the whole story. Chris Collins, who's been a PT peer, he's been on fire the last 3 games, 27 points a game. In fact, he made their season turn around. They were 0-4. They played North Carolina State, and Collins knocks down a big 3 to really give them the momentum and start what has looked like a different season this year than last year.
Tar Heels, terrific defense today. Time out after the hoop for Duke. 71-58. 2:09 remaining when we come back. Hey, Kim. Wojcicki. Up in the rafters is Jeff Mullen. Have you got a good shot of Jeff Mullen's retired jersey for me?
I don't think so. He didn't retire.
They didn't retire it? Did they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, there is fine.
Yeah. I want a picture of that if we can coming out. Okay, I want to say something about my friend. Got it. You meet a lot of wonderful people in sports, but one of the classiest, Jeff Mullins, wore number 44 here. The jersey number's been retired at Duke, and he is retiring at UNC Charlotte. He coached 11 years. He went on to the NBA out at Duke. He was just a wonderful person. He said he was only going to coach. He told me once, like, for 3-4 years he was going to get out. Lasted 11 years.
I'll tell you one thing, he's ready for an NBA job, and he'd be a great leader, just like Lenny Wilkins. He has that same kind of personality.
Don't be pushing, Jeff.
Yeah, get Jeff in the NBA.
Jeff, I tried to give you a little time off, let you go to the golf course.
Enjoy college.
Your family. Yeah, right. Look at Jeff. Look at the gray hair that Doug's getting, for crying out loud.
Well, at least he's got some hair. He's got some hair.
2:05 to go.
42 points. 42 points between Williams and between Mr. McGinnis. Unbelievable. If you would have told me Carolina could win with Calabria having a deuce, I would have said no way on the road. But they got 42. Now 43 going for 44. Williams having a big afternoon.
23. Shamond Williams. Now the final 2 minutes. 73-58. Capel penetrating off the miss. Back to Wojo's trifecta. And Duke won't go away. Timeout, 154. 73-61.
This one's over, baby. You put this in a win column for Dean Smith. 26 consecutive years winning wins. Won 2 national titles, 93 and 82.
Well, we say goodbye to Dick Vitale, but I'll stick around for the last 154 if it's just the same with you. I've seen a lot of wacky things.
No, not today. Not today.
But I must say, Duke needs him.
Not today. No miracles today. This baby's history.
You got it.
And number 15, Todd Singleton in the lineup for the Blue Devils.
Payne Weber believes the best investment is an investment in education. They salute Charlie McNary as the Payne Weber Scholar Athlete of the Game and congratulate him on his own investment in the future. Payne Weber recognizes the commitment to education with a $1,000 donation to the University of North Carolina for ongoing research. The story here for Carolina in the second half. At 1:53, they lead at 73-61. McInnes, 16 points. Williams, 16 points. The two have scored 32 of North Carolina's 41 points here in the second half. They have been marvelous, the two of them. 73-61 now, 1:53, and here comes McInnes to the line.
They've been marvelous. Sound like a little Billy Crystal right there. Little
Simply
Billy Crystal.
marvelous, Dick. Simply marvelous, Dick.
They're going back to Chapel Hill with a big W. Franklin Street's going to be celebrating tonight, and one of the key reasons, Mr. McInnes, again, good backcourt play. McInnes and Williams, the difference. I just marvel when I look at those numbers. I think of 26 years winning 20 wins in a row. I mean, that's 20 games rather a season. That's just amazing what Dean Smith has achieved.
So Singleton and Mike Krzyzewski will use some of his bench players who don't get much time here. Last game of the season at Cameron. Listen, do we have time to have Lewis talk to Doug right now? I mean, even though it's a downer. Okay, well, he's not taking anything away. His son can't play. He's limping off. .53 to go in North Carolina, closing in on its 20th victory of the season. And they will extend that winning streak against Duke to 7 in a row. It's wonderful statistics that Carolina has built up. And for Duke, a painful moment. While we were away, Chris Collins limping off to an ovation to the Duke locker room. Their leading scorer here today, 18 points. And Father Doug, very unhappy time for him watching too. Capel fouls Calabria and Carolina. Dick, you've got all the numbers now on Dean Smith and the Tar Heels.
I'll tell you one thing, Brett. This stat is another unbelievable. Only once in the last 17 years has North Carolina been seeded lower than number 4 in the NCAA tournament. That was number 8 in 1990. I mean, you can go on and on with his numbers. He will become the all-time leader in the history of the game.
There's the lineup for tonight, Dick, on the network. America's Funniest Home Videos, followed by an all-new Lois and Clark. The world premiere movie event. Farrah Fawcett stars in the seductive story of Galva tonight on the ABC Sunday night movie.
Well, Mike 7-0-7 now against Dean in the last 7 matchups.
Capel with a nice penetrating move, and it's 76-63, final minute and a half, and again the Tar Heels continue that parade here up to the free throw line.
Well, the tone of this game was established early when they allowed Duke only 21 points at halftime. When they locked up with their game plan defensively that Michelangelo put together, they came out, they extended on the defensive end. Jeff McGinnis took control at the point guard slot. Almost had that disastrous technical when they were up 8, but they really responded defensively.
Okay, partner. It's that time of year when you gotta pick the national champion. We probably both agree. I wish I could pick away from the chalk, but I don't think there's any looking past the chalk this year.
Well, when you think about winning by 40 on the road, winning by 40 consistently, I mean, their margin of victories has been so impressive. Kentucky's got to win it all. Kentucky really is the team right now. Their first team, their second team. They could be number 1 seeds, both those clubs. I mean, they're amazing what they have personnel-wise.
Tapped in by Domzalski, who has got a fine career in front of him. 78-65, final 124, and Capel puts McGinnis here up on the free throw line.
Kansas will be a number 1 seed despite losing to Oklahoma, who looks like they've played themselves in the tournament, finishing number 3 in the Big 8 with that big win over Kansas.
Then Connecticut will wind up number 1 in the East now?
No, Connecticut be number 1 in the West. Mass number 1 in the East. 28-1. Massachusetts has to be in the East.
So they'll ship Connecticut out.
I think
because no one from the Pac-10 can wind up with a 1 out there, right? So the next best in the East is going to head out west. Kentucky cannot go to the Southeast because the regional final is at Lexington, so they are forced to go into a different region.
They can't go to the West either because the games are at the same time in the West and Southeast, so they'll go to the Midwest. Hey, Connecticut, what a salute to Jim Calhoun. 17-1 in the conference, 16-2 the last 2 years, won 3 Big East regular season titles in a row. The only thing missing from their resume of being really a super elite program, they have to get to the Final Four.
There are Dick's top seeds. Kentucky, everyone's choice. They'll be a prohibitive favorite to win it all. I can't remember the last time that a team was this big a favorite. Let's go back to one of Wooden's UCLA teams. I mean, everybody, one of the reasons why is that the ACC is having a down season. There's great parity in this conference, but there's no super team. Now, I think Georgia Tech can go away. So I think Stephon Marbury can get them on down that road the way this was playing, and Harpering and the rest of those fellas, Dick.
Well, I look at Georgia Tech, and certainly they've turned it around after losing 7 games in the pre-conference schedule. I don't see them as a club going beyond the Sweet 16. I still think they're missing 1 player to get up there with the real elite program.
Krzyzewski sends in the bench warmers. The white flag has gone up here at the 104 mark. Carolina 80 and Duke 67. And it is amazing, Dean Smith's winning streak against Duke. They have now extended it to 7.
I think it's amazing what he's done with this team. This team lost so much firepower with Wallace, Stackhouse, Battle Williams. And it also hurt him in recruiting because Wallace and Stackhouse, and I want to set the record straight. There was a writer that wrote that I said that Wallace and Stackhouse, that I suggested they should leave school. You know and I know, I believe every youngster should come back to school. I said, though, that I thought they would go, and they did go, but I certainly never said I wanted them to leave.
1 minute.
So the final minute, and there's a big moment for Jeremy Hall, a freshman out of Sarasota, Florida, Cardamone.
Sarasota knows mom and dad. They're going to be elated. Jeremy.
Lorraine's probably down there. Lorraine Vitale probably remembers him when he played high school ball.
Cardinal Mooney.
How are we going to get to the airport with Lorraine not here? She's the only one who can do that now. Back they come again now. Yes, and now Todd Singleton, a sophomore from Queenstown, Maryland, with a field goal for the Devils. 80-71.
Oh, you don't want to fight. You don't want to
into it now, but hold on. Jay Heaps is over there. And Heap says inadvertent. So some cooler heads are prevailing. I'm getting a kick out of a freshman on a long metal mass coming off the floor for the last minute. And McGinnis coming out now. He draws the tee. His second. McGinnis is gone.
He's ejected. 2 technicals. He's ejected at 3 this week. That is not really what Dean Smith wants on his basketball team. I can tell you right now, Dean Smith is happy with the win, but he is not happy with what he's witnessing here by McGinnis, who's got to control himself. He's like really ready to explode here. You can almost see it on the floor. And he's too talented and he's too good a player.
25 points for McGinnis. Let's take another look at this. Now, this was the end of the play.
Got a way to develop a good reputation. He plays for a great coach who doesn't tolerate that kind of behavior. You don't usually see that at North Carolina.
Well, obviously, this was a double. The other youngster also being assessed for the deliberate foul. That is the call against Duke, was a deliberate foul. They were trying to put McGinnis up on the free throw line, so he gets the first one. Then they call the tee on McGinnis, and so now at the other end, Duke will be shooting for the technical, and I believe it is Singleton. Todd Singleton out of Queenstown, Maryland, a sophomore, stepping up to the free throw line to shoot here at 26.2.
No reason for it. You're winning the basketball game. You're playing brilliantly. He got pushed. You turn around, you walk to the foul line, you get the last lap, you look at the scoreboard, and you put the points on the board. I mean, there's no reason for that from a leader like McGinnis. Absolutely no reason, but he had a technical against Wake Forest as well. And now he's going to have a one-on-one, I can guarantee you, in that office with Dean Smith tomorrow.
His second technical. McGinnis gone. Last 24 seconds. And Perry nails Baker Perry out of North Carolina. The senior nails the trifecta. 81-76 with 18 seconds to go. And here come the regulars back for the Blue Devils.
Oh, this place going absolutely bananas. The reserves.
Hold on, everybody.
Oh, I was going to the airport, Brett. Hold me back. Hold me back.
Jamison checks in for Carolina. Suddenly, Duke gets points off its bench. Like 9 of them.
Oh, this is crazy.
They were scoreless off the bench all game long. Here come the Scravinis.
The Scravinis.
81-76.
Then they go to Scrub City where those guys never play.
And Shamon Williams, who certainly is the MVP of this game for Carolina. 25 points coming through in the clutch.
This rivalry is something special. You never know what to expect.
They'll be looking for Capel now on the trifecta. Capel's coming down the right side. Calabria's got him, so he'll move on inside. He's fouled. That would have been a three-point effort. He'll come up and shoot a pair of free throws.
Well, what happens there? You stop the clock. You can get into a defensive pressure situation. I know Dean, Phil, and Phil Guthridge have to be totally frustrated with the kind of on-court behavior by Jeff McGinnis.
His third personal foul. Jeff Capel off the line. 2 shots.
83-76, 13.1. Ticks of the clock left. And still has not calmed down completely. That's 20 points for Capel for the Blue Devils. Off the glass, back into the hands of Wojo. Price up! No! And the Tar Heels come away with the rebound. And a foul, I believe, is going to be called against Jamison. Jamison is called for the foul.
Foul is on the Tar Heels.
And that's going to put Newton up on the line.
Look at Jamison saying he's a great kid on club. Certainly not being antagonistic. He's just a little surprised with the call. All Jeff had to do was smile, look at the board. This game would have been locked up already. It would have been in a locker They'd have been celebrating.
6.8.
Number 15, Vince Carter, into the lineup for the
Now Mike Krzyzewski is explaining, I believe, how to bring the ball off the glass for the long rebound here for Newton. At least he was indicating now with the motion of his right hand. Got the first one. Now here we go. Slips in behind. They didn't bring it off far enough, did they? And the foul is on Capel. So Calabria, the senior for North Carolina at the 4-second mark, comes up now.
He provided a lot of leadership on the floor, especially before the game. Dante Calabria. Here come the Scribinis, as you call them, who work so hard. Beautiful kids that give so much up every day in practice. Don't get a lot of recognition, but give everything they have to make the first scrum a lot better. You certainly got to appreciate their effort here today when they came on the floor. Solid career this guy's had. NCAA championship in 93, 94 they were #1 in the nation. 95 they go to the Final Four.
You know what's going to be entertaining? The ACC tournament.
Oh, I
mean, it's going to be a madhouse now.
Yeah. You look at a team like North Carolina State, they can get on a little run. I mean,
North Carolina beats Duke for the 7th consecutive time. 84-78 is the final score. Shammond Williams leads the way and indicating as he walks off the floor that he might have been struck by a coin or something that flew down. Well, we'll have to wait and see. He goes off to the side, and that wraps it up. Another season, Dick, and it was a wonderful one as far as competition was concerned. The Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech.
Congratulations to Bobby Cremins and Marbury and Barry and company. What a comeback after 7 L's in the pre-conference schedule, but they responded in a positive way, Mr. Musburger.
And now we'll see if Kentucky can run the table at the SEC tournament the way they did the regular season, and then on to the NCAAs. Meanwhile, Doug Collins returns to the Detroit Pistons. They were 4-2 out west. And his son, a painful ending to a great senior season. Hope he's okay for the ACC tournament and the NCAAs. Bill Ford and the Tar Heels, 84-78. They prevail. Dick Vitale, Lewis Johnson, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from Cameron, everybody.